What's up, everybody? You're back with Letters to My Ex. I'm Esmarie, and the drink that we're going to make with our letter today is called the Hot Little Honey. So all you need is a honey-flavored whiskey. I'm going to use Jim Beam today, Fireball, and a little bit of Frangelico. I've got my shaker with my ice. Now remember, if it's a shot, we're going to do like a half ounce of each, which would be a 2 count. But because I'm making it in drink form, we're going to do a 4 count. So that would be an ounce. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off to the side, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're gonna shake. All right, now, because I've never tried this, yes, this is a first time for all of us, I'm gonna taste it and see if I want to top it off with anything to kind of dilute it a little bit. Damn. That's actually pretty good. It's a little strong, but like I feel like it should be. So yeah, I'm not gonna top it off with anything. Let's get to our next letter. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is one of my letters. All right. If I expect you guys to be vulnerable, I gotta be vulnerable too. Here we go. I need to get so many things off my chest that I never got a chance to say. If I don't, I'm gonna end up hating you, and I don't want that. The last call we had just wasn't the right time. Being away from you for a couple months gave me a chance to take the blinders off, so to speak. Not sure how we went from such a loving place and me wanting to do life with you to feeling such a disconnect. But regardless, this is how I feel about the bigger picture. Based off of many things that have transpired, I have felt for a very long time that you view me as a project or someone that you pity, and never really saw me as a woman that was up to your standards as a potential partner. More so just a girl with a fun vibe in your city to pass the time with. Meanwhile, I'd look at you and could never feel those things. So needless to say, it grosses me out to feel how I felt. But honestly, that's an ounce of what really needs to be addressed. I'm not a girl, I'm a grown woman who's had my shit together long before you came into my life. Just like you made the mistake to move with that company in your late 30s, I made the mistake that had my situation happen at 30. We live and we learn. I'm still just as intelligent, hardworking, and amazing as you. I'm meant for great things, and I will achieve my goals. I don't know if you forgot who I am, but I'm the laid back, good-hearted, go with the flow, intellectual, bubbly, freaky, bad bitch that you met as a bartender. Not some charity case or someone that you gotta avoid or push away to show them that you ain't trying to date them anymore. The point was proven that night on the couch, and I ain't worried about dating you. I repeatedly used to beat myself up and question my value when we stopped dating. I told myself that I lost the best thing that ever happened to me, but no, I didn't fumble you. You fumbled me. You may meet other fine females, dope females, women with more money than me, etc., but I can confidently say you will never meet another female with a soul like mine. Just like I'll probably never meet another dude with a soul like yours. I can admit that. The difference is, I've recognized how rare it was when we met, and I fought for you for over a year. While on the other hand, you checked out after 4 or 5 months at the first sight of an issue. After my issue started, you scolded me, you decided to pull back from me, flipping the romantic card to a dad switch, which in turn made things worse. It was toxic. It was a circle of events that could have been avoided had you just kept the same energy I kept and tried loving me into doing better. I didn't just have issues out of nowhere. You caused some of those issues. And I took accountability and worked on myself while you avoided and deflected because you don't want to face things that you need to work on as well. While I think you're a great guy, you're not perfect. As I've said before, you try to charm your way out of situations so that you don't look like the bad guy, when in reality it just makes you look fake at times. I know it's not your intention, but I think you know exactly what I'm talking about that you do. In December, you could have kept it real and said, hey, you're awesome, but you're not the type of person I can picture as a future partner. I think it's best we go our separate ways and find what we're looking for. It would have all been fine. Instead, for months and months, you fed me excuses. You repeatedly left breadcrumbs of hope that at some point we might grow close again because everything's great when we're together. Meanwhile, the excuses that you were giving me was because in all actuality, you were putting energy into meeting and dating other women. When I had no other choice but to accept you wanted to stay single, I tried to be your friend and you made it clear in more than one way, harsh ways might I add, that you'd rather me be out of your life. You shoved information in my face that I didn't need to know, asked me questions, deliberately trying to drill in my head just how much you were over me on multiple occasions. And it was so unnecessary and rude. Instead of just saying, let's go our separate ways, you would do things to purposely push me away or avoid me. And I specifically asked if I brought value to your life or if we should just go our separate ways. And you sent me a paragraph about why you valued me. Make it make sense. Your judgment seems pretty clouded, but at this point, I don't care. How you've treated me isn't cool, and that was before the blocking. This was just the cherry on top. Blocking is something I don't tolerate from anyone, so why would you get a pass? If the tables were turned and a female told you, I'm gonna block you for now because I think this is best, and later we can build a friendship, you would laugh in her face and never speak to her again. So the fact that you're trying to validate and normalize doing this to me is wild. And as I said earlier, degrading. You want me gone? Cool. You could have said that 6 months ago instead of feeding me bullshit about our connection, your soft spot for me, or that you care about me so much. I have kept it so real with you since we've met, and I don't feel that you've done the same. You might feel that you've put up with a lot of my shit, but you have done a lot of things to cause some of that shit. While you've been nice, kind, supportive, motivational, as a decent human should in certain situations, that doesn't mean that you get a trophy for being a good human. I am too. I don't think that your words about wanting marriage and a family and just wanting peace match your actions when it came down to showing real ass love. This isn't how you treat people you care about, period. It's always been your way or the highway, and while you've got friends to party with or go to wedding festivities with, females to sleep with, etc., God forbid you lost everything tomorrow, it's females like me that would have your back and drop everything to be there for you every day. Not the females who care about money, status, materials, clubbing, etc. The grass ain't greener on the other side, it's greener where you water it. Had you put more energy into us instead of temporary fun, we would be in such a different place, a better place right now, whether it be romantic or platonic. So you keep doing you. I hope it all works out for you, truly. This isn't a shit on you session because I do still love you deeply and think very highly of you for so many of the good times that we shared and so many things that you did for me. But the same way that you showed me tough love, I'm holding you accountable with some tough love as well because you made some mistakes, and if you don't work on yourself, you're gonna hurt others after me. I didn't deserve this, and I don't need to try and prove I'm up to your standards anymore, romantically or in a friendship. If we cross paths again, there's no beef. Wish you the best. Okay, so I want to start off by saying this. I will never say that this person is a bad person or a shit person because he's genuinely not. I pride myself on being a very good person, and he was the first human being I ever met in my life of the opposite sex that I thought compared to me, in the fact that he was a very positive, great person. However, even people like me and like him, you know, we have our faults, and I just think that with him, he couldn't see those faults. He had no problem telling me about mine. But I don't think that he wanted to face like the real issues that he had, that he needed to deal with. It was a very his way or the highway sort of thing. And he did do a lot for me. He was a very positive influence on my life, but at certain points, I think that what he thought he was doing that would be okay wasn't. And I think that I kept it a little more real with him than he kept it with me. And I think that he was too afraid to hurt me because, again, in the beginning, I had mentioned he looked at me as like a project, someone he could fix. I don't think he really took me seriously in some aspects. So I think that kind of played into some of the things that he did, and he tried to charm his way out of situations instead of just keeping it real with me. When he didn't keep it real with me, it ended up actually hurting me more in the end. I give brutal honesty all the time, so I can take it. And I don't think that he thought I could take it. I don't think anything was malicious. I don't think anything was vindictive. I'm happy to share this with you guys because this can be in a lot of situations. You know, just because it doesn't work out with someone doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that maybe they have some other areas in their life that they need to grow and work on. I was very upset that I fought for him a lot longer than he fought for me. And if a man or a woman truly values you and sees you as a long-term potential partner, they're going to fight for you. They're not going to let you just walk out that door at the first sign of an issue. Pay attention to the red flags. Stop giving more of yourself to someone than you need to. You can fight a little bit, but if they're not reciprocating that energy, then you need to move on. And again, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means they're not your person. It's been really hard for me to accept that this is someone that I thought was perfect. I thought was going to be my forever. And I had to realize maybe it's just not. When you look at the big picture of things, he really was a good person in my life. So I do want him to do him, and I do wish the best for him, truly. For anybody going through like a similar situation, just know that I understand what you're going through, and it hurts because you're like, what? There's people who could get through way worse shit than this. But ultimately, it just wasn't meant for you. So you got to just wish them the best, and what's meant for you will find you. So I hope you tune in for the next episode, and cheers. Come back for more letters to my ex.